About 95% of who we are by midlife is a series of subconscious programs that have become automatic, like driving a car, brushing our teeth, overeating when we're stressed, worrying about our future, judging our friends, complaining about our lives, blaming our parents, not believing in ourselves, and insisting on being chronically unhappy, just to name a few. This is quoted from Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And this book, like many other books in the self-help and self-improvement space, largely focus their emphasis around identity shifting. And although some of them don't describe it in this manner, it's exactly what it is. And in this video, I want to talk about identity shifting and how it's the key to absolutely transforming your life. First up, we need to understand what identity is. Personal identity is dynamic and it influences your behavior, your choices, and your interactions in the world. And it's normal to have multiple identities throughout your life, especially when you're growing up. You try new things, you meet new friends, and you try to find your place in society. Some of them are just phases at different stages in our life, while others are less fleeting. And a personal example for me is I've gone through the rock metal stage when I was playing in a band. I've gone through the football stage where that was my big dream. I've gone through the complete fitness and mindset transformation and becoming a fitness fanatic. I've gone through the student lifestyle, and I've gone through the entrepreneur phase and moving to a new country to start a new life. And interestingly, what was true for all of them was that I completely identified within those different personas, within those different identities at that stage of my life. They were things that really became part of my day-to-day life and who I saw myself as being. And really the identity piece is about how you show up in your day-to-day life. It kind of takes over your life. It's part of your passion. It's how you see the world. It's how you identify to other people. And it feels like a lot of the stuff you're doing doesn't even seem like work. You know, I can remember years ago when I was playing in a band and I could easily sit in my room for 8 hours a day just playing my guitar, getting into the state of flow, writing music, playing music, learning music, and this was part of my identity. In fact, I even remember a tag that came along with the band stuff sometimes when people would say, "Oh, you're in a band, that's cool." And so really it becomes part of who you are with your thoughts, with your feelings, and with your actions. And James Clear talks about identity in his books, Atomic Habits, where he talks about the idea of creating identity-based habits and behaviors, which we'll get onto in a moment. But the challenge for most people is they're so stuck in their old ways that it's really hard to break free from their current situation. And in this instance, we literally need to become a different person, which is the whole idea of identity shifting. We're trying to shift into a new version of who we want to become, to a person who is capable of achieving and living the life that we're trying to achieve. And it always starts on the inside, but here's what usually happens for someone. Maybe in your life, you've gone through a health scare, you've had a relationship challenge, or some trouble at work, or you've had some traumatic experience or some kind of pain in your life, and it's caused you to take some kind of action. It's like the person when they go through the breakup and then they go to the gym and they transform their body, or they go to the doctor and the doctor warns them from their blood results that they're pre-diabetic and they need to make some positive changes now, otherwise it could be downhill from here. Now, for some people, this may cause a physical action. It may force them to make that change. But other people, if they haven't done the internal work, they haven't reflected, they haven't attached the meaning, they haven't shifted their identity, then change is going to be difficult to maintain in the long run. But sometimes if that fear is strong enough, if that pain is strong enough from the perceived threat or the trauma that's happened, it can cause someone to completely change who they are at the core just from that experience. But for most people, they will find a way to slip back into their old patterns unless the pain is big enough. And obviously, we don't want to wait for pain to happen to be able to make lasting change. For many people out there, they're going through life, they're feeling okay, but they want to take things to the next level. And this is where we need to understand the concept of identity shifting and look at changing the internal world so that we can change the external world, which is the physical results in our life. You know, what happens during the day where you wake up late for an important meeting or an appointment, you spill coffee down yourself, you're stuck in traffic at work, you have an argument with someone, and really shit hits the fan. How do you deal in those situations? Do you slip back into the old patterns of comfort, or have you made the lasting changes? You can see progress if you take the time to answer some of these questions. What is the biggest thing holding me back in my life? What life do I want to live? Who do I want to be in order to make this a reality? What would I need to believe in order to see some real momentum with this? Once you've taken the time to know where you're at, what you want, who you need to be, and all of the other pieces involved, then it's time for the integration phase, integrating a new identity through affirmations. The truth is, if you were to apply brute force and willpower alone, it's never going to be enough to see lasting change. And that's why affirmations could be the missing piece that you're looking for to help you make lasting change. What you want to do is reverse engineer your limiting beliefs. You want to create an affirmation, turn that limiting belief into an empowering affirmation, and then lock it in with some clarity questions and take some action. I'll give you an example so you can see what this looks like. So here, we're looking at a limiting belief on the topic of health. So I have no control over my health. It's all genetics. Then what you want to do is you want to go on to the affirmation. And an affirmation for that could be something like, I'm in control of my health and my choices positively impact my well-being. So you're taking control by saying that you have choice in that. And then what you want to seek some clarity questions to embed this in and to deepen this within the subconscious. Something like, what actions can I take to deepen this new belief? So if you want to change that belief within yourself, you would literally state down all of the actions that you can take to prove that belief to be true for yourself. Another question you want to ask, and this is such a powerful exercise to do, is what evidence do I have to prove this to be true? So you want to start looking in your day-to-day environment, what evidence around you is there that's going to show you this is actually true. I really believe this now. This is an example from my Belief Shifter tool, which you can get a copy of below. It's also part of my affirmation breakthrough course. If you want to get that one, I'll leave a link where you can check that out. So to summarize that, it's to identify your limiting beliefs. Then you want to reverse engineer that, turn it into an empowering affirmation, seek clarity with some questions and look for evidence you can apply action in your day-to-day life. Look, I really want you to see and feel and experience the benefits and the power behind affirmations, because honestly, when done right, it's kind of like a cheat code for your life. I'll be honest, when I was younger, when I was in school, I was quite lazy. I always wanted to skip doing work. I wanted to take the shortest route possible. And I didn't really want to do all of the hard stuff and things that I didn't have interest in. And so maybe that's why I've been drawn to this path. But really, affirmation is a way so that you don't have to keep forcing things in your life. You can rewrite a new program into the subconscious mind literally by creating some audio affirmations, from speaking affirmations out, and it's going to speed up the results. So if this is interesting to you, then I would definitely recommend you get into that. I've made a free tutorial video showing you how to make your own audio affirmations. And then if you want a more advanced version, then you can check out the affirmation breakthrough. Try to think of it like this. You have a subconscious mind and a conscious mind and a body. You can even think of the subconscious mind and the body as being the same thing and the conscious mind as being separate, because the subconscious and the body are both where the habits are. That's the action, that's the programming. Because consciously, we might think we want to do something, we might want to consciously change a behavior, but the body and the subconscious is operating on a different program, which is why sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. You might pick up your phone and then you think to yourself, why am I on my phone? I was just on this app 10 seconds ago. And then 10 seconds later, you put it down and you do the same thing again. And a lot of this stuff is unconscious programming. It's habits, is embedded deeply within us. And so we need to rewrite that. But anyway, the point is we want to integrate them, the subconscious, the conscious, and the body harmoniously so that they work for us rather than against us. So when you say something like, I want to lose 30 pounds of body fat, in the conscious mind, you're consciously thinking and speaking that out loud. You want the action and the habit to align with that. So the subconscious mind and the body. You don't want to be saying one thing and then your actions are revealing another. For example, you don't want to be always sat down on the couch, grabbing the chips, getting the takeouts, chugging down the Pepsi, having all the pizzas and feeling like crap. In other words, the mind wants to do something consciously, but the body wants to do something unconsciously because the habit and the program is deeply rooted within us. And that is why change is so damn hard and willpower never lasts. Willpower is never going to be enough. Creating a new program is the key to identity shifting. It's the key to changing your life. It's the key to achieving all of the goals that you never thought were possible. And sure, you could say, well, I'm just going to follow someone else's blueprint. I'm going to follow what someone else did. But the problem with that is their actions aren't the only things you're seeing. Underneath the surface, they have a certain belief system. They have certain identity of how they see themselves, which translates into the physical world. And so just copying someone else on the outside doesn't always work. We need to do the internal work. We need to have that internal shift within ourselves so that then we can experience a certain level of success on the outside. Okay, so how do we create a new program? Well, we've already spoken about this a little bit already, but basically you want to create a new idea of who you want to become, a new self-concept, a new self-image. You want to list down all of the traits, the actions, the habits. What would it feel like to be this type of person? And it's the repetition through visualization, through the affirmations, through the actions, consistently that will allow us to step into this new state of being. If you want to get started on this right away, you can watch my free tutorial video where I share with you how you can make your own audio affirmations to get you started. And once you have the foundations in place to shift your identity, we've spoken about the beliefs and the internal work and creating your affirmation track, then we can move on to some more of the practical elements such as the habit. And the key with this is to create intentional habits that we can repeat time and time again that's going to serve us. And we did briefly touch upon James Clear's Atomic Habits. And in that book, James Clear talks about the 4 key elements to create a lasting change with a habit or to break an old habit in reverse. You can follow the 4 stages to changing a habit, which I got from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. Step 1 is a cue. Make it obvious. Step 2 is craving. Make it attractive. Step 3 is response. Make it easy. And step 4 is a reward. Make it satisfying. So let's use an example with this. Picture this. It's 7 p.m. in the evening. You've just finished your dinner. You've had a long day at work. You're feeling a little bit tired and you really don't feel like cleaning up after yourself. But you know in the morning when you wake up ready for the next day from previous experience that when that kitchen is messy, when you wake up and you start seeing that first thing in the morning, it doesn't make you feel good. And so you really want to take care of that, but you're not feeling like doing it. So how can we create a new habit that you're actually going to stick to with this? So an example for this could be, number 1, cue. Leave your headphones on the table while you eat. Number 2, craving. Because the headphones, it reminds you that you want to listen to your favorite podcast. Number 3, the response. This signals you to put the headphones on as you begin to clean the dishes so that you get to listen to your audiobook or your favorite song at the same time. Number 4, reward. You learned a new idea from the book you were listening to, you feel inspired, and you have a clean kitchen. So in this particular instance, you've created that new habit by making it more appealing to yourself because you've integrated it with something that you actually enjoy doing. So bringing all of this together, we have clarity. Self-awareness is always the first piece towards any positive change in your life. If you don't have self-awareness on the truth as it is, this is going to limit you in all aspects. What do you want to have? Who do you need to be? And what things do you need to do? It's about creating a new program to influence the subconscious. Take consistent action, looking for evidence in your day-to-day, listen to your affirmation track, and slowly but surely, you will start seeing different things in your life. You'll start feeling different within yourself, and you'll start seeing and hearing about opportunities that you didn't notice before. As always, thanks for watching this video. Have a great day, and I'll see you real soon.